Warhammer 40,000 9th edition Battle Report. It's Necrons versus the Death Guard. Welcome back to Warzone Morloc 40k. Hopefully you can hear us through these safety devices upon our faces.
Yes.
I'd like to welcome back into the Warzone at this time High Fleet Viennetta Dave. Welcome
Feels
back.
Good, thank you.
Welcome back, Dave. You haven't been around for a little while
Good.
because of lockdown, but we are now starting to extend our family bubble, and we have Dave with his awesome new unit, included Death Guard.
That's right, yeah. They're disgustingly resilient, which is quite a true part of the times, really, isn't it?
It's an apt.
They're disgustingly resilient.
It's apt.
And they are buffed. War of the Spider has come out. Yes.
Talk to me about War of the Spider. What new units can we expect to see?
Well, I think Plague Surgeons.
Oh,
they're buffed. They sound good. And also, there's a nice little strat in here for buffing Lord of Contagion, so they reroll 1 auras. So hopefully we'll see some of them back on the board, which is what I've got today.
As a Necron player, I don't know what a reroll aura is because we don't have any. Roll on October, and this shout out goes to all the people in the Necron Facebook group who have been backing me or destroying me for life choices in general. Today's mission, we're going to be playing
Retrieval. With
So
6 objective markers.
6 no less.
Yep. Primaries that we're going to be fighting for.
Yes.
It's going to be good. We should expect a battle line down the middle of the board. I'll be protecting mine. You'll be protecting yours.
Yes, we're hoping for the Necrons to actually score some points this time, because I have to admit in the last couple of games I've been there in body and not so much spirit, because I haven't got a clue what's going on. But I've done some research, done some learning. I've even printed off a sheet of secondaries. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Henry, what do you reckon, son? No, he's a bit quiet today. I'm sure he would approve. So it's going to be the Necrons versus the Death Guard in a 2,000 point Warhammer 40,000 Battle Report.
My first game of 9th.
First game of 9th?
First game of 9th, my first game for 6 months actually. So
welcome back into the gaming arena.
Thank you,
Dave.
I thought we should say a piece about a video.
Yes, indeed.
That came out.
Yeah, go on.
It's a video released on Friday, so we're filming on Sunday, it was just Friday gone, by Winter's SEO, who made an incredible video about the issues and depression and things that he's been facing for the last few months. So, Winters, you make incredible stuff. You're an inspiration. We're big fans, so keep it going, buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Winter's SEO, for being so open and honest with everything that you've been going through, and you're not alone. 100%.
I learned a lot, and also importantly, it makes you think about Warhammer and how it is and where it sits in your life.
Yeah. And
definitely for us, it is somewhere to go.
I can definitely say that Warhammer 40,000, for me, this hobby has been a form of mindfulness and a form of therapy. It's because it's awesome, and it just takes your mind away from it all. Hopefully that happens when you're watching this game as well, although you'll be laughing, crying at dice rolls and comments, hopefully.
Yeah, but just to remember, it is a game, it is for fun, it is somewhere to go.
We're playing for fun.
We are. We're not.
There's no money involved. We're not playing for hard stakes. My cars or my missus are not on the line. Not this game. Happens at the weekends. But stick around. Warhammer 40,000 Battle Report. Necrons versus the Death Guard. Let's do it. It's my 2,000 points of Nephrec Dynasty Necrons, trying out a new dynasty today. Starting with my warlord down here is the Cryptek. He has the relic, the Veil of Darkness, and a Chronometron. And behind him, the 2 other HQs are 2 Indomitus Overlords. Both have got Tachyon arrows. My troops choices, I've got 2 blobs of Necron warriors, left and right. One of the squads has 10 of the new Gauls Reapers in, because I just wanted to try them out and see what happens. And making up the 3rd troops choice over here is this squad of 5 Tesla Immortals. Behind them I've got 6 destroyers. They're going to hopefully do some work for me today. Behind them I have a Doom Scythe, which is looking a bit tasty.
Very nice.
Behind them I've got 5 Canoptek Wraiths. They have got the Vicious Claws and the new free Particle Casters.
Ooh.
and 2 heavies there. Got 2 Doomsday Arcs. If anyone's been following along, my whiffing dice rolling became a meme.
They're going to work today. They're gonna work today.
Cricket noises all around. And lastly, just down the front here, I've got 2 sets of little scarabs because they're awesome. And that's my army. I've got 12 command points. I'm going to spend some for some deployment shenanigans. But off we go.
So this is 2,000 points of the Festering Onslaught, using the Plague Company rules of Mortarian's Chosen Sons. So I'll start down at the front with my Warlord. That is the Demon Prince of Nurgle. He's got the Warlord trait Arch Contaminator, the Psychic Power Miasma of Pestilence, and I've also given him one of the new relics from War of the Spider, which is the Epidermicist Blade. So he's coming at you, Billy.
Yeah. Good.
So he's my Warlord. He's also got a Plague Spear on there as well. Next to him is a Lord of Contagion. So got this model out again. It's been a while, but I've given him one of the new stratagems from the War of the Spider, which is the Harbinger of Nurgle, which gives him now a reroll 1s to hit buff aura, and a Man Reaper on him. Next to him is a Malignant Plague Caster, so 2 Psychic Powers, Blades of Putrefaction, and Putrescent Vitality. If I go on now with the troops choices, just on the right hand side, we've got the Poxwalkers, standard unit of 10, filling up that slot and points. So behind them is a 11-man bomb of Plague Marines. So I've got a Plague Champion there with Power Fist, Plague Sword and Bolt Pistol, and every other Plague Marine has a Plague Knife and a Bolt Gun. Just to their left is another unit of 5 Plague Marines, so this is a Plasma unit. So I've got 3 Plasma Guns in there, 1 on the Champion, a Flail and a Standard Bolt Gun in there as well. So that's my 3 troops choices for my battalion. Next up is the Elite, so I've maximised my Elite slots. So I'll start on the left hand side with the Blight Lord Terminators. So that is, I've got 3 Bubotic Axes, 1 Bale Sword in there on the Champion, 3 Combi Melters, a Blight Launcher and a Flail of Corruption. Just to their right is the Death Shroud Terminators times 3. And to the right of them I've got the Plague Surgeon. Now the Plague Surgeon down there, he's got a couple of stratagems spent on him also from War of the Spider. I've spent one on, now I'm never going to get these right, Alembical Narthecium and and Hypertoxic Tinctures. So he gives now reroll 1s and 2s on Disgustingly Resilient, and also reroll 1s and 2s on Plague Weapons with an aura around him. I did think about giving him the Fulgaris Helm relic as well, but I'd rather save my CPs because that would have extended that aura, which would have been quite handy. So just to the right of him is a Noxious Blightbringer. Now he's got the other relic, the Demon's Toll. That's another new one from War of the Spider.
His large bell.
His massive bell is now even more powerful than it was before because it grants an invulnerable save. Now I guess that's probably something to do with the fact it's distracting. But hey, let's see how that works. So that's a massive buff, really, giving a 5+ invuln. So these guys are going to be hard to shift. Yeah. So to the right of him, I've got 2 Foul Blight Spawns as well. Lovely. Looking gnarly. Fast attack choice, I've put a Fetid Bloat Drone in at the back. So with the smaller board, those things are obviously going to be more important flying around. So we'll see how this does. Being my first game of 9th, you know, we're all getting used to the new sizes and things, so let's see how he does. And finally, heavy support on the left hand side is 2 Plague Burst Crawlers, both with Plague Spitters and Rothowl Volley Guns. Okay, so that's my battalion, and that's with 12 command points starting, of which I've spent 4 on all the extras, so we'll be starting the game with 8.
Dave, welcome back to the Warzone.
Good to be here.
We're deployed.
Distance, safe.
Here is the battlefield. The objectives, not that the numbers matter. Number 1, number 2. Where's number 3? Number 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Lovely.
Show us how you've deployed, Dave.
Right, so I've got, first off, the unit of Poxwalkers, the expendable unit. Because you only need to be 3 inches now within the edge of the objective marker, those guys are sitting on that and holding that one nice and out of the way. I've got a force down here, Plague Burst Crawler, Demon Prince, Plague Marines, Malignant Plague Caster, Foul Blight Spawn, looking to take objective 2, possibly push on to number 1. We've got some scary race over there. And down on this side I've deployed almost the exact opposite, except this lot's got the Plague Surgeon and the Noxious Blightbringer. That's a big blob of Marines, all behind the Plague Burster there. So, Plague Burst Crawler. So let's push up on those objectives, that's the plan.
Okay, and over on this side we've got the Wraiths here. I've got 2 Doomsday Arcs up on there, 2 Overlords in and amongst 20 Warriors, 3 Scarabs bases there, Doom Scythe, and in this little building over here, you can't see them, but you've got 20 Warriors, and the Cryptek and the other Scarabs are in the basement of there. And in reserves, I've paid for the Transdimensional Crypt, 1 CP, to have those in Deep Strike, and I paid 1 more command point to have the Immortals in reserve as well, leaving me starting with 10 playable command points. And Dave, what have you got in reserve?
So the Lord of Contagion, the Blight Lord Terminators and the Death Shroud Terminators all teleporting into the battlefield.
Excellent. So now it's time for a little roll off to see who's going first.
It is, with our own dice. 6.
What are you going to do, Dave?
Well, I'm going to go first.
Death Guard, turn 1.
I'll just move these guys up, screening the characters. These have got their own little mission to go on, sneaking around the back. But sitting on that objective there,
Nice.
that primary.
Poxwalkers have stayed stationary.
They've stayed where they are. This unit have also moved up, and I've also brought out the Fetid Blow Drone as well. So he was sitting behind there obscured, but now he's got to play as well. So
Excellent.
so at the end of the phase, classic Cloud of Flies stratagem
Naturally.
on these guys here.
All right.
I'm thinking, yep. So that's on the Plague Marines, so they can't be targeted.
Awesome.
Plague Burst Crawler. So at the end of the movement phase, my Poxwalkers have carried out the first of my secondary objectives on the Scramblers. So they're spending the turn performing that action as an infantry unit.
Scrambling their dirty eggs.
Yeah, scrambling the eggs and hopefully the Necron brains. But that's the which they love. They love brains.
Brains!
And so that's the first one in my deployment zone done. So I'm going to start off with the Demon Prince. So his powers Miasma of Pestilence. He's going to cast that on the Plague Burst Crawler. So going off on a 6. Oh, it's a 4.
You're going to re-roll?
Yeah, I think I
re-roll
will
both.
do. I'm going to use a command point re-roll. Goes off with a 9. So Miasma of Pestilence on the Plague Burst Crawler, making it -1 to hit.
Oh, strong.
Which will be important against those Doomsday Arcs.
Strong indeed.
We need that to come off. Next up is the Malignant Plague Caster. So he's got Putrescent Vitality, which improves the strength and toughness of the unit by 1. So I'm going to cast that on the Warlord here, because there's some Wraiths down there. And,
Robotic nom-nom noises.
yeah, it's got a classic matchup written all over it, so I'm going to buff him up and see what happens. So 6 goes off. Oh, 5, use my command reroll, doesn't go off. The next one is Blades of Putrefaction, and I'm going to leave that off on a 5 as well. Oh, just.
You're scraping through these, mate. Scraping through.
Yeah, so I've only got 2 weapons in range of anything at the moment. That's the 2 Plague Burst Mortars. So looking at the targets, it's either thinking of Doomsday Arcs because of Billy's secondary, or the Wraiths, which are the more immediate threat. So I'm going to try and thin out the Wraiths. It also means you're not anywhere near your objectives as well. So 6 shots. It's a blast weapon, but it's only 5, so I've got to roll the d6 and see where it goes. So here we go, hoping for 6. 3, I'll take that.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay. So it's now 4s to hit, even though it moved, but the heavy doesn't count anymore. So looking for 4s. Nothing.
Oh dear.
Sank. Even with the Demon Prince re-rolling 1s didn't help.
Je terrible.
So I'll do the other one at the same target. See, Billy, I've absorbed your rolling skills. I grew a bit of a beard.
You did?
I thought that was where Pat's power came from.
Unfortunately, you have to have a
It's
thick
not
and lush
working.
beard full of beard oil.
Probably about 2 years, I might get there. So I'll do the next one, d6 shots again at the Wraiths. Looking for 4 shots.
4.
Hitting on 4s, no rerolls. 1 hit.
Oh, Dave, what's going on?
It's nobly goodness. It'll be okay. So I'm wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s or 2s because of the plague surgeon. I get a wound in, really.
No way.
AP -2. So
I'll use my dice.
use your dice.
And I have a 3+ invulnerable save on the wraiths, which I make.
6.
It's a 6. The tables have turned. No longer am I a meme. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. And the first thing I did was use the stratagem, the Pharaoh's Will. So in the command phase, I managed to cast that on an overlord, who put My Will Be Done on one of the Doomsday Arcs and the Doom Scythe before it took off and shot across the board. And the other overlord cast My Will Be Done on this Doomsday Arc here. Movement wise, the Scarabs, using their 6-inch auto advanced, pelted it around the corner and on objective number 1. My Wraiths have used their auto advance to get all up in the Death Guard's grill. Doom Scythe used a massive movement to get onto
Massive movement.
Massive movement.
Big inches we used.
With big inches, we like them in the Warzone. Into that table quarter, importantly. And over here, I've got 5 Wraiths there who charged from the base of the building over there. The 2 warrior blobs have stayed pretty much where they are because they're just getting mullered. I'm going to play adaptive subroutines on the Wraiths so they can still get stuck into some action when they come to shoot and charge. Okay, so here comes the big dogs. We're forgetting how they performed last time, and we're going to try and start afresh. So this Doomsday Arc is going to target the Plague Burst Scrawler. Now it does have the Miasma of Pestilence on it, which would make it -1 to hit. But with My Will Be Done, puts it back up to its normal ballistic skill. So D6 shots, 2. I'm going to instantly command point that for a 1.
Oh no!
I'm going to fire 1 shot, hitting on a 5, wounding on a 3.
Wounding on a 3.
Wounds, D6 damage.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Alright, I rolled a 5 for that, so I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it, Dave.
5 plus demonic save. 1 fails. So that's 5 damage.
Yeah, so it's 5 disgustingly resilient rolls.
Disgustingly resilient. Save 2, so that's 3 damage, so he's down to 9.
Okay, well, do you know what? It could have been worse. I could have missed with all of them. Same again with this Doomsday Arc, and we're hoping for a greater result. I got greedy reaching for more than 2, such is my luck. Here we go, D6 shots. All 5, here we are, cooking on gas. 3s to hit.
3 hits.
3s to wound.
Oh,
All 3 wounds.
It could go up here. 5 plus invuln makes 1.
So 2 go through for 2d6 damage. It's 9 damage, so 9 disgustingly resilient rolls, please, young Dave. See how resilient you really are.
1, 2, save 2. Gosh, so that's another 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds, so he's down to 2.
Down to 2.
2 wounds. Oh my word.
I think that's My Will Be Done, or the Pharaoh's Will spent well there. Up to fire is going to be the Doom Scythe, shooting all of its weaponry to try and finish off this Plague Burst Crawler. Now it's D3 for 1. Now with Miasma of Pestilence it would normally be a 4, but I've cast My Will Be Done on it, so it's back to a 3 to hit. Oh no.
You've used your reroll.
Oh no. Oh lord. So with that whiff, I'm going to use the Tesla Destructors. Assault 4 hitting on 3s. So 2 hits. One's a 6, so I get that counts as 3 hits. 5s to wound. 1. Just the 1. It's not going to be enough to finish it in the shooting phase.
AP with a weapon?
AP is 0, so it's only 1 damage.
3 up save. Makes it.
Oh.
That's made a save.
Yeah, hooray. The thing that can really finish this Plague Burst Crawler off is the Tachyon Arrow from my Overlord, who earlier moved into line of sight for just such an occasion, knowing that I would whiff. So he's normally a 2+ to hit, with Miasma of Pestilence making it a 3. Hits.
Uh-oh. Threes?
Threes to wound.
No!
Oh my!
You used your reroll. Tachyon arrow.
Oh, word.
Just hit it in some wet, soft, fleshy bit.
What have I done to deserve it?
Got absorbed.
The Canoptic Wraiths in the end of the shooting phase are going to use their particle casters. 5 shots at the Plague Burst Crawler. I don't know if they'll do much work on it, but we'll find out. Looking for 3s to hit. Oh, sorry, 4s to hit. Oh dear. Well, 2. A 5 to wound, I think. Not a sausage. It's a total waste. Thanks for coming, everyone. I will declare a charge from the Wraiths into the Plague Burst Crawler.
Yep, so I'm going to spend a CP to fire Overwatch. So see if we can do something here. So I've got, first of all, the Rock Body Gun is 3 shots, 4s to hit. Rerolling the 1 because the Demon Prince.
Is it not 6s still?
Is 6s, yep. 4s to hit.
Yeah.
But the 2 Plague Splitters on the side, they're auto hitting and they're D6 shots each. So that's 9 hits. Now I'm down to 2 wounds, so the strength of the weapon is only 5. So it's 4s to wound. Rerolling everything because of Arch Contaminator next to him. So that's 3 wounds there. Rerolling these, looking for 4s. So that's another 3. So that's 6 saves there.
6 saves. 3s or more. So 2 have gone through.
So one of them's lost 2 wounds.
Yes. Okay, into the Canoptic Wraiths have managed to charge into the Plague Burst Crawler. I've managed to stay outside of heroic intervention range of the Demon Prince there. And I'm an inch away from the Plague Marine, so it literally is focused on the Plague Burst Crawler. However, you get to attack first because of the special rule.
Yeah, the revolting stench of the foul blight spawn basically means anything within 7 inches acts as if it hadn't charged. So if you're a Space Marine, you wouldn't get any additional attack.
That's very strong in the Space Marine meta, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's very cool.
But it also means that I get to go first because it's as if you didn't charged. And in the new rules, you start with your opponent, I guess. So
Wisdom. So basically, this tank stank. And
well, it's the guy in the mushrooms behind.
Yeah, he stank.
And I guess your wraiths have stink receptors.
Yeah.
So I guess it works.
Robot nostrils. Well, the warriors certainly have.
So I'm fighting my Plague Burst Crawler. It's got 4 attacks.
Let's see these amazing attacks.
Because it's got 3 normally, plus 1 for hate for assault. Because it's got Heretic Astartes keyword. And then hitting on 6s, nothing. Roll in the 1 for the Demon Prince. No.
Get off.
Waste of time.
My turn now.
Might
3 attacks
have
each, hitting on 4s because of the Miasma of Pestilence. Not many. 6 got through. Looking for 5s to wound. Oh dear, only the 1.
Just the 1, so straight through to my Demon Invan of 5+. No, disgusting. Is it just 1 damage?
It's 2 damage. So
2 damage. Oh.
Yeah, this will be the decider whether the Plague Burst Crawler goes up or not.
Disgustingly resilient. No!
Yeah! Finally, a turn of luck. Do you explode?
Explodes on a 5+. Hopefully not, because it wins everything.
No. Off you go. Remove from play. At the end of the Necron's turn 1, I've just consolidated a tiny fraction to make sure that I've got 5 dudes within the objective, if it does come down to numbers later on. Obviously no primary scoring in turn 1, but I do score my 3 victory points for having a unit in all 4 table quarters. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and obviously my own 4.
Good work.
Happy. So 3 points to nil going into Death Guard turn 2.
So I got 1 CP back, taking me back up to a Nurgly 7, which is the magic number.
Yes.
I'm holding this objective here on the edge of 3 inches.
Yeah.
And that one there. So that's 1 is worth 5, holding 2 it's worth 10. So I've got 10 victory points in that command phase.
Now you would have got the 15 for holding more.
Well, to get 15, I'd have to be holding more than you.
Yeah, so I've got 3 as well at the moment.
So that would have been 3 each. But
still, okay, well.
Yeah.
Right, that's that.
Well, so obviously the models have moved. So we'll go straight
straight to movement. What have we done, Dave?
So I've spaced these guys out around here. Obviously looking to get in some firepower and some charging and some new Nurgly stratagems on the Wraiths.
Yeah.
Hopefully clear them off. The Plague Burst Crawler's moved now, because this is now precious metal, and out of line of sight to at least one of the Doomsday Arcs anyway. So hopefully he'll survive. I've shuffled these guys about, so they're still on the objective, but so these guys are all going to focus on the Crescent and try and take that out. Down on this side, I want to try and clear these Scarabs off, so they'll make you have to bring something out to take that objective.
Indeed.
So I've advanced my favorite bloke drone down here, his Plague Sprayers, hopefully to take out those Scarabs. And
what's this over here?
Terminator bombs arrived.
Oh no!
But it left me a nice little gap. So they found the Blight Lord Terminators, the Lord of Contagion, 3 Death Shroud, all dropped in, getting all their scythes in each other's faces. Yeah, clear target here. So I think at the end of the movement phase as well, I score a secondary objective if I've got 2 units. Might be the end of the turn actually. If I've got 2 units in your deployment zone per turn, that ramps up for victory points a turn. So this will also secure me the first 4 of those secondaries.
Oh yeah.
So also in the movement phase, I'm actually going to, so the Death Shroud, I've got guns at their short range. I'm actually going to say that those 3 are going to be deploying the other Scrambler in your deployment zone. So that's what they're going to be doing this turn. So that's the second of 3 Scramblers deployed. And I'm going to play Cloud of Flies for 1 CP on the Plague Marines.
Just take a moment to appreciate the new Warzone Morloc command mat, where you can place your tactical objectives, your scores, your command points, and your turn. Available nowhere.
Yet. So I'm going to start with the Demon Prince, casting Smite against the Wraiths, so trying to get rid of one of those Wraiths. Goes off on a 5+, strong 8, D3, it doesn't really matter.
No.
3 wounds, just 1 gone.
Kills 1, wounds another, yeah?
Yeah. So next up will be the Malignant Plague Caster. I'm going to cast Putrescent Vitality on the Plague Marines, which will make them strength and toughness 5. Oh no, improve it. So strength 5 and their toughness will be 6, which means they'll be quite difficult for the Wraiths to deal with. So
Indeed.
Hopefully it goes off on a 6. Ah!
Well, it's gone off anyway. See if you roll another 6, please. Ah, never mind.
So that's gone off with an 8, which means you automatically suffer a mortal wound because it's more than 7.
Oh no!
The Pestilential Fallout.
A Pestilential Fallout has killed another Wraith.
So they're dropping. And then next up I'm going to cast Smite. This time looking for a 6. Again, if I get a 7 or more, it causes a mortal wound. Doesn't go off with a 4. I'm not going to CP that because I want to keep my CPs.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and be as CP efficient as I can because I want to spend all my CP in this turn and use all the wonderful new stratagems. So, but I'm going to start with the Foul Blightspawn and his Plague Sprayer because it's just a fun weapon. So first of all, we roll for the strength of the weapon for strength 7. So that's 3s to wound.
Oh man!
And then it's D6 auto hits for 5.
Oh, Dave, you're rolling hot now.
So it's 5 auto hits, wounding on 3s, re-rolling everything because of the Arch Contaminator, and it's a plague weapon. So that's 1 re-roll. So that's all wounding Billy. The AP is -3, which would be great against staff, but on your Wraiths, yeah. So you've got your 3 up in run.
3 up in bone.
3 damage a pop.
2 have gone through.
And 3 damage each, so that's 2 dead Wraiths.
Oh man! Oh.
So next up is that Demon Prince with his Plague Spewer. So he's a monster, it's a heavy, so he doesn't get any minuses, but it's an auto hit weapon, D6 shots for 1. Okay.
How's it feel?
It'll do.
Shoes on the other foot now.
It is. I'm not spending CPs on rerolls. So it's now forced to wound, strength 5, reroll the wound because it's a plague weapon. 6 gets through,
nice.
So through to your invuln, believe it's only a 1 damage weapon. Use your own dice this time.
Yeah,
we're
learning. Makes it on a 3.
Nice, okay. Right, okay, so I was just prepping all my dice to fire plasma guns and bolt guns and other things at the Wraith. But I've realised I've made an error and left my Demon Prince closer to the Doomsday arcs than his protecting unit. So in the old rules, the new teleported units down the Terminators in that corner would have
screened him,
made him untargetable. But now it's my first 9th edition, we're all learning. So what I'm going to do is not shoot it, but I'm going to charge it with the Marines to try and wrap around. It's very gamey. I'm sorry for all those that don't like that.
Dave, if you didn't do it, we'd get comments. If you did do it, we'd get comments.
So bring it on, bring it
on.
So I'm just going to move on to my next shooting now. Right, okay, I'm going to go with the fetid bloke drone and his plague sprayers on these guys on these bases. So
now that terrain is not obscuring, but I would get a cover save.
Yeah, you would do, because even the third base is just behind. So
what did we declare that piece of terrain as? Was it?
It was light cover.
Light cover.
So I think it's -1 to hit, but these hit automatically, so you don't get a benefit.
There we go.
We're learning.
A little nuance of the flamer style weapon.
Yep. So the plague spitters, it's 2d6 shots, auto hitting for Nergly 7.
Nice.
Because it's plague, not required. They all go through. AP is -1.
There's no save on them, so it's
1 damage apiece.
Yeah, I think that's their.
So how many wounds a base?
They're 4 wounds a base.
So that's 1 base gone and 1 down to 1 wound.
Nice. Well, at least they survive.
Yep. So next up is the Plague Burst Crawler, which I've positioned to try and help with the race, but I didn't realise how effective my psychic phase would be.
Show off.
So I'm declaring the Rockhowl volley gun against the flyer, and the bombard we're going to trial the blast rules and fire it at the Necron warriors at the back there.
Oh,
to give a bit
these
of help.
poor guys.
Yeah, to those Terminators at the back. So I'll start with the Rockhowl volley gun, hitting on 4s. 3 hits,
Nice.
wounding on 4s.
Oh.
Well, no wounds.
Oh
Nothing.
dear.
Well, these guys have. These are your Doomsday arcs from last time, aren't they? They've just done rubbish. So, okay, now the bombard. So it's an auto 6 hits now at last, because you've got more than 11 models, I think, in that unit.
Yes, there's a blob of 20 in there.
So hits on 4s. Not near any re-rolls. Ah, that's more like it.
Oh my lord!
5 blast coming into its own there.
Nergleth.
So it's a strength 8 weapon. So wounding on 2s, plague. So re-rolling 1s.
Oh,
so that's
horrendous.
5 wounds, Billy.
6 is needed.
You used my dice again.
I know. So 4 die.
Right, so next up to shoot is my Foul Blight Spawn. I'm targeting the flyer. And I'm going to use this most horrible stratagem called Foul Gush. The Foul Blight Spawn.
I think I had that once.
Gush. And it basically means that you can roll an extra dice when you work out his shots and strength of the weapon and discard the lowest. So targeting this guy. So I'm going to roll here for see the strength of the weapon, so I can discard the lowest.
That's lucky. Which one are you going to pick?
It's a Nergly 7. I'm going to get rid of one of the ones.
Oh, okay.
And then you number of shots, so you roll an extra dice again and pick the highest. So,
Oh, dude. You suck.
two auto hits. I'll just take the 2. So strength 7 against the toughness
6.
Toughness 6. So wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s and 2s because of the plague surgeon now. So I need that to come off. So that's 2 wounds. AP is -3.
Okay. So rolling to save the 2 wounds on the Doom side, looking for 6s, it's -3 AP. Nothing, and it's 3 damage apiece. So it loses 6 wounds.
Okay, so carrying on with the firing. Plague Surgeon's got a bolt pistol, hitting on 4s because of his hard to hit rule. Misses.
Get off.
And the Noxious Blightbringer's got a plasma pistol, again hitting on 4s. Hits, strength 7, so
3 wounds.
3s. No.
Oh.
Doesn't come off. Okay, so I'm going to play another stratagem now, which is Relentless Volleys for 2 CP. And it basically takes all the bolt guns from Rapid Fire 1 to Rapid Fire 2.
Wow.
And they're within rapid fire range of the Zoom side. So that's 40 shots. So I'm going to start rolling off camera.
See you tomorrow. So after all the shooting from those buffed guns, they took off one more wound from the Doom Scythe, which I consider myself very lucky to have got away with there.
You made 8 out of 9 saves.
Indeed.
Yep, so the Blight Lord Terminators.
Is that the front rank?
Yeah, so that's the 3 combi melters. I'm just going to use the melter profile, so I don't have the -1 to hit. All on the Doomsday Arc and the Blight Launcher as well.
Okay.
So I'll do the melters first. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s now because of the new Harbinger and Nurgle. Doesn't need it. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds get through. AP -4.
Okay, so it's straight through the shield. It's only a 4+ save on a Doomsday Arc.
So I kind of want 4s, I suppose, something like that, because you can roll under it. So I would get a 6 and a 2.
Yeah. So I'm looking for. This is against the 6.
2.
So against that one, and against the 2. Nah, 2.
So 2 damage.
2 damage.
Next up is the Light Launcher. So it's 2 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. I get a 1. Wounding on 4s. No wound.
Oh, have I got away with that? I think I've got away with murder so far.
So just 2 wounds off the Doomsday. So first up, I'll charge with the Plague Marines here. So I want really to wrap them around the back of the Wraith, so they're protecting the Demon Prince. It's a 7.
Oh, tasty.
I'll move this round.
So everybody's made it into combat except for
The Foul Blightspawn.
the super smelly dude. Everyone else, you got the wraparound, which does now effectively screen the Demon Prince from the Doomsday Arc shooting, which was inevitably going to come.
Yep.
And now we move over to the charge of the day.
With the new engagement rules, I've only got to make it to the bottom of the building.
How far is it?
Well, base to base, it's about 7 inches.
Yeah. This is for the front rank.
Yeah, they were allowed to deploy there because on the angle, that's 9 inches.
Wisdom, Dave.
Well, it's the new engagement range come into play, so
Yeah.
looking for a Nurgly goodness 7. No,
Oh!
not to be.
Glory.
I might have to CP that, buddy.
Oh, CP, yeah, both rerolls.
Takes me down to 2 CP. Oh, it's good.
Ah, strong.
It's a 10. So these guys are now down there. And him as well.
Nice.
Actually, I'll put him there because otherwise he wouldn't be able to fight because he's not within ½ an inch of a ½ an inch. So
Indeed. Nicely done.
So attacking with the Demon Prince first with his Epidermicist Blade, which is his new relic weapon. So he gets 4 attacks base +1 for charging in. He'll also get another attack with the Talon, which we'll do after. So first of all, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Oh, strong.
6s with this blade cause an additional extra hit,
Nice.
which is one of the relic's new. This new relic plus his 1 to his strength, which makes him a strength 8. Well, I think your toughness is 5 anyway.
It
so
is, yeah, it doesn't make much difference here.
So
But
it's 3s. It's also a plague weapon, which means
you get reroll.
you get re-roll everything.
That's lucky.
Very lucky. So looking for 3. So that one doesn't get through. So that's 5 wounds there, Billy.
Here we go.
And it's actually 3 damage a pop.
Ah. Well, that killed.
So
yeah,
just
that
one
one that gets through. Do I CP that? Now, I did consider using a CP to re-roll it and keep him alive just to annoy him, but there's so many awesome weapons, including a flail in there and just Plague Marines. They're going to chew me up anyway, so he is gone.
Okay, so I'm going to fight with the Blight Lord Terminators. I should have dropped one of them back, so I would have got the reroll ones to hit buff. But anyway, you live and learn. So I'm also going to play Veterans of the Long War, so I get +1 to wound rolls with these guys. So I'll start off with the flail. So this is the flail of corruption. So they get 2 attacks base +1 for charging in, and it's D3 attacks, hit rolls for each attack. So that's 3
crazy.
D3 attacks, 6, 7, 8 attacks. So hitting on 3s. That's 2 misses. They would have been re-rolls. Nuts. So the weapon is +2 to strength, which makes it strength 6. Toughness is 6, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right. So it's
So it would
4s.
be 4s, but with Veterans of the Long War, it's now 3s to wound. So if any 6s, or actually because I've got Veterans on, 5s and 6s do an extra -1 on the AP.
Uh-oh.
So wounding on 3s. Okay, so they're all wounded. These 4 trigger the Aura of Rust. So they're at AP -3, and those two are AP -2.
So with a 4-up save, they go straight through.
They go straight through, and those you get a save.
Yeah, so it's 2, what do I need?
It's 4+ save, isn't it, normally, so you need a 6+.
Nothing.
So nothing. So now each one of those does 2 damage.
So how many's there?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 6 times 2 is 12, guys.
So after just the flail, he's on 1 wound remaining. Now we're following up with all the axes.
Yeah, well, I'll do the champion because he's got a bale sword.
Yeah, let the champion take the glory.
Yeah. So hitting on 3s. 3 hits. So he is strength 4, so would be normally wounding on 5s. But with Veterans of the Long War, it's 4s. Oh! It's a plague weapon.
Oh no!
I need some 4s. Yes, that's more like it.
Plague weapons rolling hot.
So that's at AP -3 because it's effectively a power sword.
Well, again, they're straight through.
So they're straight through, and they're 1 damage a pop.
So
you can't really.
I can't know. So that's it gone.
So does it explode?
Let's find out. There's the one we were looking for. So that is removed from play. Does not explode. Uh-oh.
Yep. So now consolidating 3 inches. This is totally unplanned because I'm just not that clever. But you know what? Sometimes beggars can be choosers, and I've consolidated into a Necron unit there.
All right. So with that, my Necron warriors piled in, got 6 attacks, but absolutely nothing got through.
So that's the end of Death Guard turn 2. I've scored 4 victory points at the end of my turn for Line Breaker. And also during that turn I've got off now the 2nd Scrambler. So hopefully the Necrons are like getting major migraines. And
telling me.
And so I've got to do 1 now with an infantry unit outside of the 6 inches from my deployment zone, and then I've achieved that secondary as well. So I've scored an extra 4 points this round, taking me up to 14.
14 points to 3. Sorry. Necrons, turn 2, in the command phase. Scoring. I score 5 victory points for holding this one, 5 victory points for holding 2. Unfortunately, we've both got the same amount, so I don't get any extra for having more.
So that's 10.
Yeah. I'm going to roll reanimation protocols for the 4 warriors that were lost. Looking for 5s, nothing come back this round. It's only 4 warriors. I've gained a command point back, putting me up to 9, and I'm going to cast My Will Be Done from the First Lord there on the Doomsday Arc, and this Lord is going to place it onto the Necron warriors. The Doom Scythe has shimmied over into this table quarter. Over here, the destroyers have teleported in and are in some good shooting range of the Plague Marines here. The Scarabs moved out of line of sight over there, although their backs are on offer. And it's Operation Withdrawal from over here. So 1 Doomsday Arc was obviously destroyed. 1 has fled over there. It's full movement range. These warriors have broken out of combat and have drawn. I'm just going to correct something. I forgot that they were in combat, so Dave's very graciously allowed me to cast My Will Be Done on himself, the Lord there, with his Tachyon arrow. Over here I used the Veil of Darkness to bring the warriors out of the tower and really double down on objective number 5. And over here I've got my 5 Tesla Immortals that, them combined with a few other things, should help me secure my own objectives. First thing to fire is going to be the Tesla Immortals against the fetid bloke drone. Looking at 3s to hit.
There's a 6 in that.
6s turn into 3 hits.
Just the 1?
Looks like just the 1, that's 6, yeah.
AP is 0.
0.
So 3 up save. Makes sense.
Right, next to fire is going to be the Doom Scythe. Now, I'll put myself in a corner with the angles and the movement. He is bracketed on his lowest bracket, so I'll be hitting on 5s, targeting the Foul Blightspawn, who is a character, isn't he?
He is a character and he's toughness 5.
Okay, so D3 shots for 1, or I'm going to command point that because I need to kill a character.
Yeah, you've got plenty. I mean,
yeah, let's go for it. For 4, so 2 shots. Now, hitting on 5s. 1.
Gets 1.
And strength is 12.
Wow, so 2s to wound.
Watch this one.
Ah!
So we've just remembered that with living metal we gain 1 wound back, putting up to 6, which 4 and the 5 would have meant 2 hits. So we're rolling the second to wound dice against this character, needing
2s.
Hooray! So go straight through for d6 damage. 5. Does that kill him? Oh, unless he's got disgustingly resilient rolls.
He's a 4 wound model.
Okay, so you need to
I
pass.
need these to come off. Come on.
Disgustingly resilient.
2. So he takes 3 wounds. He's alive on 1 wound.
Oh,
Disgustingly
resilient. There is yet hope. The Tesla disruptors hitting all 5s. There's no hope. There's no hope. Next up to shoot is going to be my Overlord with the remaining Tachyon arrow. Yep. And I'm going to be shooting across the board into the Plague Burst Crawler there.
Yeah. So we've just been discussing the rules around the terrain. So because you can't go on this, it's not area terrain. So we're calling it an obstacle. But an obstacle that's both obscuring and gives you light cover. So because I'm within 3 inches of it, and between it and the firing model, I get +1 to my save. That's what we're saying.
Okay. Now, I'll normally be a 2+ to hit, but it's a heavy, so it goes up to a 3+ to hit.
That's right, because you moved with a heavy weapon as an infantry.
Yeah, I had to move to get my line of sight. So off we go.
Yep. Anyone who knows any better, let us know.
Yeah. Hits with a 5, strength 12.
Toughness is 8, so you're looking for a 3.
Hits a 3. Yeah, so it's gone straight through with a -5 AP.
So I'm on my demon save, which is a 5+ invuln. Nope, fails. So now it's your d6 damage, I believe.
D6 damage for 3.
So 3 disgustingly resilient, going off on 5s and 6s. Makes 2 of them, Billy.
Oh my word.
Takes 1 damage.
So I fired all the Necron warriors, including the new Gor's flayers, into the Plague Burst Crawler because Cloud of Flies was cast on the Plague Marines. I couldn't actually target them. So my only viable target was that. I took off 1 wound from 20 shots. So not too bad. Pretty bad, actually, pretty bad. Okay, next up to fire is the low power mode Doomsday Arc, which will be targeting the fetid bloat drone. So we're looking at d6 shots for 4. Hitting on 3s. Oh, did I cast my Will Be Done on it? I think I did.
You did, yeah.
In which case black becomes a hit. Strength is 8, so 3s to wound. 1 goes through. AP is -2.
Okay, so 5+ save. Nope.
And it's only D3 damage for 2.
So disgustingly resilient, 5 or 6s. No, it takes 2 damage.
How many lives has it got?
How many lives? It has 10. Just down to 8.
Well, hopefully the Gor's flare rays might be able to get some shots off against it now. Strength is 4. 5 to wound. So 5 have got through, -1 AP.
So looking for 4-ups. Fail 3 of them. They 1 damage each.
Yeah.
So 3 disgustingly resilient. Makes 1, so he loses another 2 wounds.
The destroyers against the Plague Marines. I'd love to have split fire and targeted other dudes, but of course they're characters, so I can't do it. Extermination protocols for 1 CP, putting me down to 7 left. Means I can re-roll failed hit and wound rolls.
Wow, powerful.
Let's get going. Okay, here we go with destroyers, looking for 3s. Here comes those lovely re-rolls. Oh, not so lovely. Another 3.
It's not bad.
And looking for 4s to wound.
Yep, because mine have got putrescent vitality, making them toughness 6.
Yeah, very strong. So 4s to wound. And the re-rolls to wound. Another 2. So 10 wounds got through at -3 AP.
So calling on Father Nurgle. Come on, Grandfather Nurgle. Oh, I need 6s to save, so that's 3 saved.
Good.
That's a lot to get through, and it's D3 damage, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
My odds are not looking
So
good.
that's 7 D3 damage.
Oh, it's good. Okay, so disgustingly resilient now. I'm going to start at this end, make my way through, but there are obviously 1 wound models. Maybe there'll be 2 soon. Who knows? So looking for 5 or 6. No, so that's 1 gone.
Does that kill the rest?
This is another 1 wound, so makes it. So that doesn't count. Next one is 2 damage. So 5s and 6s. That doesn't matter. So that's another 1 dead. Next one is another 2. No, it's another 1 dead. Another 2. Another 1 dead. So these last 2 are 3 damage each. So I basically need 3 6s,
yeah.
3 5s and 6s. So that's it. That's them all
hooray!
gone.
Hooray! Hooray! Get off. Now I've considered the virtues of charging and not charging here with the destroyers. I know they're not typically an assaulty unit, but it's an 11-inch charge, so it's worth a go. It's very difficult, but it's the difference between him scoring 5 points there on potentially me getting in and killing a character, which could be quite swingy later on. So looking at the points, I could keep them alive and then live to fight another day over here, but he's only going to charge and chop them up anyway. So I say go for it. So here we go. Here's an 11. That's a 3. Thanks for coming, everyone. That's the end of the Necron turn 2. Just a quick secondary score from me because I've got the 3 board quarters again. So I get another 2 victory points there. So it's currently at the end of the battle round 2, 15 points to the Necrons, 14 points to the Death Guard. Let's go into turn 3.
And I'm still holding 1 objective there and a second one there, but not more than the Necron, so I get my 10 points in this turn for the primaries.
Yes.
So that's all for the command phase. I've repositioned this guy, so he's on 9 inches of his plague sprayer from the croissant, but he's still on the edge of that objective. The Malignant Plaguecaster is also on the edge, but I've moved up the Demon Prince because he's going to try and get a charge off.
Wow.
The Plague Burst Crawler's moved around as well to support them, because that's starting to look a bit thin on the ground without those Marines. And on this side, these Marines have consolidated on the objective. Foul Blightspawn's moved up with an advance, but his is an assault weapon, so it can still fire into those guys. So these have all been arranged so that I can get the Plague Sprayer on the Necrons, and the Plague Marines have moved up to consolidate on that objective. They're all in buffing range, so they've all got the 5+ invuln and all the lovely rerolls from the Plague Surgeon. Effective Bloat Drone's moved across the terrain feature now to block off these Necrons, and also try and move a little bit out of line of sight of those Immortals. They're sort of leaving them on their own for the moment.
A little bit.
And on the far side, so I've got the Blight Lord Terminators and the Lord of Contagion. They're moving up to bring their weight to bear on the Necron warriors around the back, and the Death Shroud of moving towards the middle of the board. So since I lost those 5 Plague Marines for my secondary objective where I deploy the Scramblers, I'm going to try and do that with these guys, moving them back. So,
Alright.
So straight into the Psychic phase. I'm going to start with the Demon Prince casting Miasma of Pestilence on himself with a warp charge of 6. So it goes off with a 7. So he's -1 to hit. Second of all will be Blades of Putrefaction by the Malignant Plaguecaster on the Demon Prince, which basically gives him +1 to wound. He's also within 7 inches of the destroyers, so if I get 7 or more, they suffer a mortal wound.
Oh.
So a 9, so that goes off as well.
Nice.
And 1 mortal wound on the destroyers. And lastly, I'm going to cast Smite. This goes off with a 10.
Oh, tasty.
Almost a super smite. So that's more than 7. So it does another mortal wound.
Yeah.
Plus D3 for 1. So
it
3
takes out a
mortal
destroyer. We'll call it that one there.
wounds. Start with the Foul Blightspawn, shooting at the Doom Scythe. So I'm not going to spend the CP on the stratagem to improve his Plague Sprayer. I'm just going to hopefully take off those 6 wounds. So I'll start with the strength, so 2d6 for strength.
Wow.
Strength 10, D6 auto hits. This is where I need the big number. 5 auto hits.
Oh no.
So strength 10.
Toughness 6. Stand by.
Okay, so strength 10, toughness 6, 3s to wound, rerolling 1s for plague weapon. Doesn't need it, so that's 4 wounds get through, Billy. AP minus 3, so it's a 6 up save. Each one goes 3 damage, so I only need 2 of them to go through.
3 have gone through.
So that's 9 damage.
Oh no! Gone.
It's gone.
Denying me my secondary.
That disgustingly resilient roll, keeping him alive on 1 wound.
Oh, scum.
Okay, so next up is the Demon Prince with his Plague Spewer. So it's D6 number of shots.
Against the destroyers.
Against the destroyer, so yeah, so for 2 shots. Auto hits, because it's like a flamer, so it's strength 5, toughness 5.
Yeah.
Wounding on 4s.
1.
We're rolling everything because of Arch Contaminator. So that's 2 wounds.
So 2 saves to make for the destroyers. Looking for 4s.
Oh, nice.
Safe. So the Malignant Plague Caster fired his pistol into the destroyer to no effect. So we're moving straight on to the Plague Burst Crawler.
Yep, so Rock Hell Volley Gun and the Plague Spit is going into the destroyers. The Bombard on top, Plague Burst Mortar. That's too close to the Necrons and the destroyers to target them, so I'm going to put it at the Immortals on the far side.
Okie dokie.
So first of all, I'll do the Rock Hell Volley Gun into the destroyers. So it's 3 attacks hitting on 4s. We're rolling 1s because of the Demon Prince. So that's 2 hits. Strength 6, their toughness 5.
Yes, right.
So wounding on 3s. It's not a plague weapon, so that's 1 through at AP minus 2.
So 5 or plus. It's a 1.
Negative, so that's 1 damage.
Brrr.
So next up is the 2 Plague Spitters. So it's 2d6 shots. 7, this is all at the destroyers, that's 7 auto hits.
Oh lord.
Strength 7, so wounding on 3s, we're rolling everything to the Arch Contaminator.
Oh,
So
all but 1.
6 at AP minus 1.
For 4s.
Oh,
Oh,
not
1
bad.
more goes through. So he's down to 1 wound.
And last up is the Plague Burst Mortar, so these guys are the Immortals.
Yes.
So I have to roll because I haven't triggered the blast because it's only 5. So number of shots, 3.
Yes, it's a 3. Confirmed.
Hits on 4s, we're rolling 1s.
Oh, dude.
Oh! That's whiff.
That's some Warzone rolling right there.
Okay, so next up I'll do the Fetid Bloat Drone with his Plague Spitters now on these Necron Warriors. So it's 2d6 auto hits for 8.
Nice.
It's a strength 6. So you're looking at 3s to wound, re-rolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. 2 1s. So that's 6 wounds there, Billy. AP minus 1, so a 5 plus save.
Here comes some 5s. Only 1 save, so 5. That's 5 warriors removed from the back there, but will they reanimate? Only time will tell.
Next up, I'll do the Plague Sprayer from the other Foul Blight Spawn. So rolling for the strength, 2d6. Strength 4.
Oh, that's weak.
He hasn't cranked it up, has he?
No, he hasn't pumped it hard enough. Didn't use a giant bell either.
No, he should have taken some inspiration from it. The number of shots, 3. So 3 auto hits. Looking at 4s now to wound. Re-rolling that 1 for plague weapon, so that's 3 wounds at AP minus 3, which goes straight through. It's 3 damage a pop. So I think that's 3 dead.
On warriors?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take 3 of them.
Right, so I'm now going to shoot with the unit of 10 Plague Marines and the champion who's got a bolt pistol. I'm spending a command point on Virulent Rounds, which makes all the bolt weapons plague weapons, so I can re-roll 1s and 2s to wound with the Plague Surgeon and his stratagem that I played on him earlier. And also, wounds of 6 are at AP minus 4. So It's 2 shots each because they're all in rapid fire, plus 1 for the champion with his bolt pistol. So hitting on 3s. Okay, so strength 4, wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s and 2s, and 6s are at AP -4, so no saves. So there's 2 6s in there. Rerolling 1s and 2s. Which are the Plague Surgeon, those have missed. I'll just do these to the side. So those have missed, so it's another 2 wounds. So that's 2 that have gone straight through, and 6, 7 saves to make ready your normal 4+.
Some 4+ saves for the Necrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4 dead.
Yep,
and then
those 2.
5, 6 dead.
Okay, next up, Blight Lord Terminators. So I'm going to split fire. I'm going to do the Blight Launcher at the Destroyers. There.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fire both sides of the combi, Bolter and Melter, at the Warriors right next to us.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so I'll start with the Blight Launcher. It's 2 shots. I can now reroll 1s because my Lord of Contagions around.
Yay!
So 3s to hit, rerolling 1s. Happy days. 2 hits. It's a strength 6 weapon, so wounding on a 3. So that's 1 wound, AP -2.
Safe.
Save.
Warzone Morloc 6.
Lovely. And now the other 3. So I think for firing both sides, it's -1 to hit, isn't it? So for firing both weapons on the combi, it's -1 to hit. I'll start with the bolt guns against the Necron Warriors. So hitting on 4s now. Hit. Wounding on 4s. Not as good. 1 wound.
1.
AP 0. So 4-up save.
It's a 3. I lose a warrior.
Okay, now for the 3 melter guns, hitting on 4s, rerolling the 1 for the Lord of Contagions, Harbinger of Nurgle. Wounding on 2s. Oh, there would be a 1 in there, wouldn't there? So that would go straight through, AP -4.
On a warrior.
On a warrior.
Pew! The fetid bloat drone made it into the last 6 warriors.
Yep.
Over on this side, the Terminators made it in to the charge with the warriors, but only rolled a double 1, so they couldn't get much further around.
Yeah, importantly, the flail.
The flail didn't make it into combat because of that duff roll. The Lord of Contagion didn't either.
Nope.
And on this side, we've got the Plague Burst Crawler is going to charge through that gap into the Destroyers, sparing the Demon Prince any Overwatch or any bother. I am going to use a command point stratagem to use Overwatch because the chances of exploding 6s at least are a bit tasty, so we'll see what happens. So, looking for 6s. We've got 2, which make 6 hits. So 5s to wound. Only the 1.
So I'm through on my Demon Invulnerable save, looking for a 5+. Nope. D3
damage.
Oh,
3.
disgustingly resilient. Makes 1. So that's
Drops
2
it down by
damage.
2 wounds.
Yep,
For
goes
1
down to
CP, may be worth it. I now have to see if it makes the charge. So we're looking for a 6.
6, yep.
Easily
6
done.
into a 9. There we
Blah,
go.
blah, 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 blah.
You can fit, we have checked it.
Yeah. So the Demon Prince made it in with a solid roll of an 8 to end my day.
Okay, so I'm going to start the fight phase with the Demon Prince and his Epidermicist sword. And I'm playing my last CP for Soul Harvest, which gives him an extra 3 attacks on an infantry unit with a Hellforged sword, of which they are. So I'm now out of CP, but with Hateful Assault, that gives me 8 attacks with his sword and then 1 with his talent.
Oh lord!
So he's also got Blades of Putrefaction on him, so I'm adding 1 to my wound rolls.
Good.
So
we're not even scared.
here we go. So hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. 3 1s to re-roll. But that 6 causes an additional hit with this sword.
Yes.
So it goes back in. And that is a hit, not another chance to attack. would be 3s to wound, but with Blades of Putrefaction I'm adding 1.
Good.
So 2s to wound. Rerolling 1s because it's also a plague weapon, but there isn't any. And that 6 does a mortal wound in addition.
Okay, so the mortal wound kills that one outright.
8 saves at AP -2. AP -2, and then 2 damage a go.
For 5s. So the destroyers have been whittled down to a mere 2 platforms left. Hit the Plague Burst Crawler, got 1 attack in, but it was saved. So we're moving on over here.
Fitted Blow Drone, so 4 attacks because he charged, hitting on 4s. That's 1 hit. Not so good.
No.
Wounding on a 3 because he's strength 6. That wounds with a 5. So it's AP -2, so you got 6 up save.
It does not make a 6. Lose a warrior.
Yep, so now we're going to fight piled in. We're going to fight with the Blight Lord Terminators, so I'm going to start with the Flail. So it's 3d3 attacks. Oh, that's not good.
Not so hot.
4 attacks. So hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because I'm within the aura of the Lord of Contagion. There you go. Oh, if only death to the False Emperor occurred, that would have been amazing. Wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
It's a plague weapon, so I'm re-rolling 1s, and 6s have the Aura of Rust, so that is at AP -3, which goes straight through.
Yeah, so it kills 1.
And those 2 are AP -2, so you're looking for 6 ups.
1 dies, so 2 die in total.
Now I'm going to hit with the Bubotic Axes. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. There's a couple of 1s in there. I'm wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s because they're plague weapons. So I'll roll. Re-roll, re-roll. So that one goes straight through, and that is 3 saves of 6+.
So 3 more die.
Last up is the champion with the Bale Sword. 4 attacks for him after he's charged, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Doesn't need it, showing them how it's done. So this time it's just a 4+ to save. Plague weapon again, re-rolling 1s. Handy. Coming good, so that's 3. Now those ones are AP -4 because of the Aura of Rust, so they go straight through.
Yeah.
But that one is at AP -3, so actually you don't get saved.
No, nothing.
So
so another 3 gone.
And Necron Warriors, we've killed 14, which is higher than their leadership of 10. So unless Billy can roll a 1 for his morale check, he's going to suffer from fail morale. So you're looking for a 1 on 1 dice. It's like insane bravery.
Negative.
They don't do it, so that's 1 warrior that runs away.
Yes.
And now for the remaining 5, we roll a dice for each of them. And on a 1 they roll away, but because you're below half strength, you subtract 1, so it's on a 1 or 2, a model rolls away. So there's only
another 2 gone in total then.
That's 2 gone, yep, in the morale phase.
Okay.
And now because they're below 6 units, 6 models in the unit,
yeah,
you don't have to worry about coherency.
Totally wasn't worried. That's the end of Death Guard, turn 3.
Yep.
Scored some more points in your secondary.
Yep, for having 2 units fully in the deployment zone. So I've got 3 in there, so that's another 4 points at the end of the turn.
Yeah, so that puts you on...
I think that puts me on 28.
Excellent.
And you've got 15.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Necrons, turn 3. In the command phase, I've gained 10 victory points from the primaries. The same objectives being held. I cast My Will Be Done from the First Lord on the Doomsday Arc, and the Second Lord has cast it on himself to try and provide a speed bump against the Terminators over there. Reanimation protocols. I brought back a whole ton of Necrons over here using enhanced reanimation protocols, and a few Necron Warriors over here. Now what I've done is I've withdrawn them out of combat, moved them back towards my own objective to free up the rest of it to shoot. I obviously made the schoolboy error of the Cryptek not being in reanimation range by selecting my casualties very poorly, so slap on the wrist for me. And that's where we are at the moment. The Scarab's on number 1 staying still. So what I've actually decided to do with the destroyers is break them off from combat and make them move over here with their 10-inch movement so that I'm in 3 table quarters, just because the Overlord there has got his toe across the line in 1 with the Scarabs as well. They're in the 3rd quarter and they're over there, so I'll get my secondary. Okay, Tesla carbines from the Immortals shoot to get the fetid bloke drone, hitting on 3s. Okay, these Necron warriors were all reanimated. They weren't actually in combat because of the way that casualties were removed, so I'm going to be firing my rapid fire Gauze flares into them, into these Terminators here. So hit it on 3s, wounding on 5s.
Yep. Okay, so AP1, so looking for 3-up saves. As 1 gets through and disgustingly resilient. Nope. Takes a wound.
Ooh. The Ark is going to declare all of its fire at the Plague Marines over here, taking advantage of the blast rule. I'm going to try and thin the crowd as much as I can, see what can happen. So I'll get 6 automatic dice to roll to hit. So here we go, looking for 2s because of my will be done. Of course I roll 3 1s.
Oh, no.
2s to wound, presumably.
Yeah, toughness 5, I think strength's 10.
10.
Isn't it?
Still roll a 1.
So that's 2 get through.
Yeah, so it's damage is D6.
So 2 guys that will hit get a 5-up invuln because of the relic, that massive bell. So it doesn't go off for either of them, so they're both cream crackered.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think I get an armor save.
No.
Oh, so a 5 and a 3. So
You were to roll
So
them
that-
separately.
yeah, so that kills 2. It will kill 2 Marines basically. So I'll do the 3 off. So I need 5 or 6s for disgustingly resilient. I can re-roll that one, but it won't make a difference anyway because they're 1-win models. And for the last one was 5, so it's never going to happen. Well, there's a 4 there, so even re-rolling it with the Plague Surgeon doesn't matter. So that's 2 dead Plague Marines.
Okay, now with the Gauze Flare arrays, so 10 shots hitting on 2s. All but 1.
Nice.
Wounding on 5s, however.
What is that? 4?
Looks like it. Yeah, 4.
AP -1.
Yes.
So looking for 4-up saves. Classic power armor. So 2 fail. So I've got 2 disgustingly resilient rolls. Looking for 5s or 6s. It's a 5 and a 5. They are resilient.
Indeed. Okay, the Cryptek is going to shoot his Staff of Light at the fetid bloke drone.
Bring it on.
Hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1. It's -2 AP.
So 5-up save. 3. The Overlord. He's feeling up for it. He's got big bananas. He's coming for the Blight Lords.
He's going with his mighty charge of a 10.
A 10. He is in combat. I don't have a CP to use Overwatch. Oh, you've put him right in front of my Plague Marine, my Blight Lord Terminator there, known as Bernard Buckguster. So
Brilliant,
come
mate.
on, Bernard.
Bernie. Right.
Okay, we're moving straight into the fight phase.
Okay, with his hyperphase glaive, he's going to make 3 attacks. So he's hitting on 2s. 3 hits. His strength is with this is 7.
So 3s to wound.
3 wounds
strong.
go through. It is -3 AP.
So I'm on my 5-up invuln. 4-up invuln for Cataphracti armor. I'll make 1 of them.
So 2 go through for D3 damage each.
Oh.
3.
So for the first one, disgustingly resilient on a 5 or 6. Nope. For the second one, that kills a Marine, that one. And a 5 or 6, disgustingly resilient. That's a 5 and a 1. So 1 of them is alive and 1 wound.
Some returning blows rained upon the Overlord. He stomached most of it with his invuln save, but alas, it was too much. They've chopped him down.
Yep.
And he has been removed from play. Worth a go, Mr. Overlord.
Big bananas.
But wait, he could return. Resurrection Protocols. For 1 CP, my lord will come back on a 4+. It's a 5. Well, he's back on 1 wound. I've moved him away because the stratagem says he has to be more than 1 inch away from the enemy models. But he's alive. Why not? I've got the command points. At the end of Necron's turn 3, I score another 2 victory points for being in 3 board quarters. And that puts me on
27.
to your
I'm on. Well, I'm only 1 point ahead of you with 28.
28 to 27 going into turn 4.
To start off, I've got 1 CP back, so that's given me 1 CP, which I've got a plan for that.
Enjoy that.
I will. And I've gained another 10 points for having 1 and 2 objectives
Nicely done.
under my control. So, right, I've moved everything up. Plague Marines and everything's got into a nice little formation there, so that I can try and take out some of these Necrons. I'm playing with the idea of getting this lot to purely set off that second scrambler so that I can gain those 10 CPs, which I think I probably will do. Down on this side, the Demon Prince has moved up to try and take out the Immortals, and I'm going to try and do that with the Foul Blight Spawn.
With his
Sorry,
super
the
long
Destroyers,
hose.
not Immortals, Destroyers.
Destroyers, yes.
The Plague Burst Callers moved out. I'm going to try and clear those Scarabs off. Death Shroud is slowly, I don't know where they're going.
We realised earlier they may have moved a little bit too far, didn't we?
Yeah, Cataphractii Armour halves the advance. That was a muck up.
But it has had no real effect on the game, so we'll let that one slide.
Yeah. The Lord of Contagion has moved up and just got in range of these guys for the reroll 1 Harbinger of Nurgle ability. And obviously I'm going to try and get in action, get in combat with these guys.
Yes.
If I can put some melters in the face of this Overlord, get him out of the way and then charge those warriors.
Nice.
I've done Smite from the Demon Prince, a Smite from the Malignant Plaguecaster, and also using his ability with the 7+. Got rid of one of the...
So they did 1 mortal wound each, but then because you rolled the 7,
Yeah.
it caused an extra 1. So Nurgle killed a Destroyer.
Lovely. And Blades of Putrefaction went off as well on the Demon Prince.
Nice.
I'm going to spend my last CP on the Foul Gush stratagem, so that's where we get the extra dice on the Plague Sprayer. So
I love it.
rolling for the strength, discarding the lowest.
Gush on me.
Strength 9, that'll do.
Yeah.
A number of auto hits, discarding the lowest. That's good. So 3. So this is now 3 hits at strength 9, so wounding on 3s.
3s.
It's a plague weapon, so re-rolling everything because of Arch Contaminator nearby. So that's at 3 at AP -3.
So they go to 6s, so I've just used your dice.
And it's 3 damage a pop. It's a lovely weapon. It hates destroyers. Sorry.
You gushed all over my Destroyers.
Okay, so Plague Burst Crawler next. I'm going to declare a split fire. The Rockhound Volley Gun and the Plague Spewers Spitters are going to go into the Scarabs, and the Mortar is going to hit these Necrons. Using the blast rule, I get maximum shots, so let's see if it can actually do something this time.
I think it might.
So it's 6 shots hitting on 4s. Re-rolling 1s because of the Demon Prince nearby. Oh, it's just 2. So wounds on 2s, strength 8. So that's 2 wounds there, but AP -2, look at the 6 ups.
6s.
Oh,
1
not too
dies.
bad.
Pew.
Blast weapon at full effect there.
Yeah, full effect.
Okay, so the Plague Spitters and the Rockhound Volley Gun destroyed a Scarab base and took another one down to 1 wound.
Now moving on over here.
Yep, so we'll start with the Plague Spitters on the Fetid Bloat Drone. It's all going into the Necron Warriors, so it's 2d6 shots. For a 12. I'll get these dice ready. Okay, so that's 12 hits, wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s or 2s because of the Plague Surgeon nearby with his hypertoxin tinctures, and that is a pretty impressive roll, buddy, if I do say so
That makes
myself.
me sick in my own mouth, Dave. I'm not going to lie.
So that's 11 wounds.
11, 5 ups needed. And they've all been saved. They are all removed from play with no chance of reanimation.
So I'm going to start the shooting with the Blight Lord Terminator. So I'll start with the Blight Launcher, everything on the Overlord, try and get him out of the way. So 2 shots from the Blight Launcher, hitting on 3s, we're rolling 1s. That's 2 hits. Strength 6, so wounding on 3s. So that's 2 wounds, AP -2. So I think he's got his 4 up invuln.
Yes, he does.
Fails both.
Snake Eyes fall. He's only got 1 wound because he came back, so he's gone.
And that's I declared the whole unit, so it's all there shooting.
Sweet mercy.
So just in case it's been missed, because I'm knackered, and these guys haven't fired anything because they were deploying the Scrambler.
The Scrambler has gone up, which will ensure...
Well, that's the 3rd one now, so that gives me 10
maximum secondary points there.
Yeah. Blight Lord Terminators have charged in, which was a 2-inch charge, and the fetid blow drone's gone in here to the Cryptek. See if you can get him with his probe, plaguey probe.
Gonna stick your probe in my Cryptek. That sounds great.
So I'm going to start with that one. So it's 3 attacks hitting on 4s. So that's 1 hit. Wounding on a 3, re-rolling because of plague, but don't need to. So that's AP -2 on your Cryptek, 5+ invuln.
No.
D3 damage. For 3.
Oh. So the Cryptek gets taken down to 1 wound remaining.
Yeah. Now we'll go straight on to the Blight Lord Terminators.
Yes.
So I'll start with the flail. So it's 3 D3 attacks for, what's that, 4, 5, 7?
Loads. Cheeky.
So 3s to hit, rerolling 1s because of the Nurgle Harbinger, so that's 2 misses there. So now we're looking at 3s to wound. Rerolling 1s because of Plague Weapon. It's coming so handy.
Yeah, all game.
Alas, that's only 3 wounds through. So I think you're on a 6-up save.
2 more die.
Well, it's a D3 damage for each one, and the damage carries over with the flail, like mortal wounds.
Brr.
So that's, well, 4. So that's 4 dead Necron warriors. Okay, so that was 2 damage for each attack there on the flail, so 4 still dead.
And the champion going in now.
Yep, so 4 attacks hitting on 3s, rolling 1s because of the Lord of Contagion with his Harbinger of Nurgle. So wounding on 4s, rolling that for his Plague ability. So that's, I think, yeah, Pale Sword. So that's 2 at AP -3. So I don't think you get a save.
No, straight through.
So that's 2 more gone. Now I'm on the axes.
Good.
So there's 2 of those, 3 attacks each. Again, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 2 misses. Wounding on 3s. Plague Weapon, so re-rolling that, no good. So that's 2 wounds at AP -2.
6 is nothing, another 2.
Yep. And then I'll pile in into those guys there.
Good. So the warriors attacked back and did nothing, and over here the Cryptek jabbed him in his smelly exit and took off another wound with his Staff of Light, because he only gets 1 attack because he's only a warlord after all. Is that all the combats?
That is, it's just onto the morale phase again.
Okay. We'll go straight in with the Necron warriors.
Yep, so take a dice. Oh, it's 1. They're insanely brave.
Insanely brave.
At the end of the turn, I've scored another 4 victory points for the secondary for having 2 units in the deployment zone. And I've also scored 10 for carrying out the 3rd of the deployed Scramblers objective.
Yeah, that's
that objective.
That's a big leap for you there.
So yeah, so that's 14 points I've scored at the end of the turn.
Putting you on...
Putting me on...
Puts me on
52.
52 points. Going to Necron's turn 4. Spent 2 command points on enhanced reanimation protocols, and I still only got 3 warriors back, but 3 is better than none. Movement wise, there's not much to play with at the moment, so all I've done here is break off the Cryptek from combat and advance him with the Nephrek auto advance to make sure that he's in the board quarter gaining me 2 more command points at the end of my turn. And that's it. I'm going to cast My Will Be Done on the Doomsday Ark just to get one last hurrah out of shooting. I've got to blow up something. And that'll probably be it. So let's see what happens. Okay, Doomsday Ark at the Plague Burst Crawler. Or should I shoot it at that?
I think you've got more chance of destroying that if you want to blow something.
I just want to blow something up just for my own satisfaction. So D6 shots. 3. Is that the Plague Burst Crawler? Hitting on 2s.
Defective blow drone.
2 1s and a 3. Yeah, sorry, defective blow drone.
No, it's
yeah,
not, is it?
It is 2 1s and a 3. I swear to God. I swear it.
3 still.
Why do you mock me, Dave?
I don't.
Why do you mock me, sir? Why do I bring them? I bring the Doomsday Arks every week.
We should have a battle of Plague Burst Crawler Spearhead versus Doomsday Ark
Spearhead. Well, it'll go into turn 30. That's it. I will formally offer my surrender. Okay, so looking at the points, it is currently 52 to 40 to the Death Guard. Now, I'm not going to score any more, realistically. I'm going to get wiped off of here. I'm going to get wiped off of there. My secondary of keeping my big things alive would have been only my Doomsday Ark, which is worth 5 victory points. So potentially that would have pushed me up to 45, but you were racing ahead with the attrition rule.
Yeah, so the objective for minimised losses, the one on the mission.
Yeah.
Just adding up what I've lost so far. I'd probably
it's not a lot.
I'd probably be in the range of 50 to 74%
yeah.
starting strength, which is another 10 VPs.
Yeah, so you're racing ahead, so it is a solid victory for the Death Guard. Bully,
Billy.
Good game. F5.
Oh,
the hair handshake.
Hair handshake.
Yeah, it's good work. I'm glad I actually scored some points, and I don't think I did myself too much disservice. Doomsday Arks can clear off. I've had enough. But I said that last game.
Yeah, it was actually, the points were very close, and you can see how...
It was close, but I'm very thin on the ground on this side. I needed something really to get up the back and do something special over there, because 10 Poxwalkers have scored you points all day long.
They have. But
if anyone's remembering,
the Scarabs did for you
yeah, well. Scarabs did well for me. But alas, another game. Wonderful to have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching. Stick around for the next one. See you soon.